Hello and welcome to the season finale, round number 10 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race for 2023. Tonight at Kyoto Ring GP Long Reversed with the UF1. A very, very slow car, a very, very long lap, well over 3-minute lap times here tonight. But that's not going to stop us from plenty of action, I think. We have over 30 cars ready to go for the start, which means we'll have plenty of drama for sure. Yeah, it's the last round of the championship, which means we have to declare our championship winner tonight, and I'm pretty sure we can do that already, as I will flash up the results for the Drivers' Championship standings. It's Gabor who will take the 2023 Season 2 Championship ahead of his teammate Rick Cardle. There you can see Pekka Koivunen, Asker, Unite, Ayub, Mantas, Thamuli, Rony and Twincam, the top 10, and the top drivers all credited with some prize money, thanks to World Class Lions once again for sponsoring the series. We'll flash up the championship standings. There will be some movers, I'm sure, after tonight's action, but the champion is sealed, but the remaining places in the top positions still to be decided for those all-important prize-winning positions. So, yeah, plenty to play for tonight. It is the last round of the season, but it's not the last round of the year for RTFR. There is another round in 2 weeks' time, which is a non-championship event for you to get involved in if you so wish. 62 drivers with 1 point at least, and that brings to a close the championship standings for this year on our channel anyway. So there we are. Gabor taking the overall win. Nobody can get close to him now, even with tonight's round still to be decided. What is happening tonight? Well, we're at Kyoto GP Long Reversed for round number 10 in the UF1. And here is the combo for those unfamiliar. The phenomenal 18 corner, 7.4 kilometer, 4.6 miles Grand Prix long reverse configuration at Kyoto has seen plenty of drama over the years. We've used it a few times this year as well. And tonight we're going to see the UF1, the slowest standard car in Live for Speed, go for 10 laps. And, well, you're not going to be... if you're not bored of this track by the end of tonight, then that's good news, because you're going to see it twice more this week on our channel. We've got it tomorrow for the Born to Race Turbo Cup in a slightly altered configuration with an extra hairpin at the oval pit lane, and it's in the other direction. But on Friday, we have Fox Friday at this track as well. So 3 rounds in 4 days using Kyoto GP Long in some form or another. So there we are. It's going to be the Kyoto week this week. Here is the UF1, the 1 litre inline 4 front engine drive designed by Scowen himself, front wheel drive, 55 brake horsepower, weighing 600 kilograms. It's slow, it's fat, we love it. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially on the oval when the drivers get the chance to slipstream. Qualifying has concluded in the background, and here's how they will line up. In fact, I believe, Gabor is going to be the pole sitter. 3 minutes 23, colossal lap times, but he will take the pole for this race, and it's 0.4 of a second that he finds himself ahead of Born to Race M, which I assume is Mantas. Then we've got Asker, Unite, Botsi, Zesty, Rayman, Ayub El Hanouni, RD2 and Strutter. Then we've got Pekka Koivunen, Happy D, Timu Soini, Rony himself, Thamuli, Litro, Jari Kitila, Madjester, Lorenzo and Magic, the top 20. And then a few names over on the second page of results. It's Michael Malik, Jam616, LG Mies, Kata, Hamani and Edgars. All right, well, plenty of action coming up, and I think the drivers are just about to get ready to hit the restart buttons and get this show on the road. So we will let them do that before we can bring you the coverage. So yeah, it should be a good one to wrap up the season. No Owen Harmon this evening. He's off on a well-deserved holiday, floating around somewhere in the Caribbean. He is on a boat, so don't worry. He's on a cruise ship somewhere out there. So if he's watching, which I highly doubt because Wi-Fi on those things is expensive, we hope he's having a relaxing time and all ready and raring to go for XL in a few weeks' time, where we will wrap up the season there as well. Only, I think, 5 races left on the calendar, our calendar this year. But with a couple to be announced, including Rony's Crashmas event that we like to do every year. So details of the stream for that coming up pretty soon. The drivers are voting to restart. We're going to go for 10 laps around Kyoto GP long reverse this evening. And yeah, get ready. It's going to be quite a show. So there we are. The grid is set. The cars are in position. Going to be a bit of a hold for the start. But we are ready for this one. Bit of a hold for the lights. And we are green. And we are away. It's Gabor with a good start off at the front. In fact, it's Oscar's already got through. So not a good start for Gabor in the end, with Unite also getting the better of him up into the first corner. A very, very slow start to the race, but it's all going to get interesting as they come into the first chicane for the first time. So it's Oscar who leads for World Class Lions, ahead of Unite, then Gabor. And Mantas has dropped back a little bit as well. So Zesti's managed to make a move. And the Born to Race drivers all together there, with Botsi making a somewhat rare appearance for the final round of the season. Yeah, great start for Oscar there. And Gabor has managed to get back through on Unite. We're not using the Boothie variant of the chicane here. The drivers will go straight through and onto the oval. But Oscar, a really, really nice start. Has got plenty of lead. No slipstream for Gabor on this occasion. However, Unite will have a slipstream on Gabor, and already trying to find a way through on the left-hand side. And Zesti is just behind these two as well. You might see him make an appearance on the camera. You can certainly hear there's another engine there. But where is Zesti? As we head through to turn 9, Oscar still leads, and there's a huge gaggle of cars up behind. Cars bumping 3 wide there. That was Unite in the sandwich. He's got Rayman. Sorry, that's Rayman to his left. And dropping in behind. Pekka Koivunen side by side with Aube there as they come up towards the final sector, banging wheels again. And that's the Muli who will get through. Some of the drivers really struggling with the rear of the car. It can be a handful. Surprisingly a handful, actually. It's around some of the corners when it gets a little bit unloaded. Aube offline slightly, and that could give the Muli a chance here, as they make the run down to the final chicane to complete lap 1. It's a long lap, over 3 minutes, almost 3.5 minutes. And now Rayman in the slipstream of Unite. But Unite will have the inside line for the penultimate corner. Shoves Rayman off wide a little bit. And we'll have that position back. Look how much the drivers are cutting that final chicane. Gabor's cut it an enormous amount, and we'll be able to maybe even draft up to the back of Oscar here. Got a 3 wide situation around Pekka Koivunen. Strutter's involved there, and RD2. They form 2 lines now. Koivunen and Thamuli. And now Thamuli trying to go up the inside of Strutter. Oh, they're going to come together surely. Yeah, there we go. Strutter sent round, unfortunately. And that's going to be all the way to the back. I don't think he'll be able to get going quick enough. No, he's lost a lot of places there. But after lap 1, it is Oscar who leads ahead of Gabor. Then Born to Race Mantas takes the 3rd place at the moment. And we've got Zesti in P4, closely followed by Botsi. We ride on board with Botsi onto the oval. good exit from there, and he'll definitely have an attempt at a slipstream here. Where's he going to go? Zesty does not defend the inside. As we ride with him through Spoon. Still very, very close together, these two. No change at the front as yet. Mantas still holding on to that third place spot. And it's these two behind, between Botsy and Zesty. Gabor is tightening his lines to try and get as close as he can to the back of Oscar, but Oscar is doing a fantastic job so far. We've got Kata quite close to the back of Rony as well, entering the final sector, so pretty close battling just outside the top 20. And Magic versus Michael coming up to the end of the lap. There we are. Very close again at the front. Rayman and Unite. Rayman and Pekka Koivunen, in fact. And yeah, Unite being forced all over the shop. And Thamuli is now back on the back of this pack now. Ooh, and so too is RD2. So watch out for a 4 wide scenario across start finish here. There's not going to be room for all 4 of them, surely. Well, this car's pretty thin. And there's that Happy D who also joins the back. Yes, it is. So 5 of them now, all together. The Zafralis car there bouncing off of Pekka Koivunen for World Class Lines. And something's going to go wrong here, surely. No, fair play. Rayman's gone wide ahead, so is caught there by Happy D, and Happy D is the big winner from all of that, as Gabor, unseen to us, takes the lead. I don't know where that happened, might have been the chicane. But that's quite a big gap that he's got there, so I wonder what's happened. But anyway, Gabor takes the lead, ahead of Oscar, by quite a margin at this point, considering what we've been seeing previously. United's gone into the bales, has had a big incident. We've got a few other cars that are going to join him. That's Michael Malek, is it? And who's that's on their roof and spectated? That was Happy D, unfortunately, who got to the front of that group, but ends up in the air. RD2's also going very slowly. In reverse. And how on earth did that car not see RD2 there? Who was that? Not sure who that was. Was it Kata? It was Kata. Did not see RD2 reversing down the oval. There's nowhere that RD2 could have gone there. And I think it was Mad Jester was the other car who was caught out in that incident, losing some places. So a bit of drama at the beginning of lap 3. Unseen, of course, to Gabor. And as we come into turn 9, we've got Lorenzo and Jari Katila in a close fight. Oh, Jari Katila and Lorenzo coming together quite badly there. And as we come up to close another lap, lots of banging of doors up and down the field, but it is Gabor who still leads, and he's opening that gap now over Oscar, and Mantas 2 is coming up to join him. Botsy dropping slightly off the back of our top three. And Gabor yet again cutting that final chicane quite a lot. 3 wide with Mad Jester, Magic and Michael. 3 M's altogether, if you like your alliteration. And it's Mad Jester in the background there, just trying to get the car under control, and he'll have a heck of a slipstream. Although it looks like Michael is the one who's going to get the slipstream off the back of Magic. And goes to the outside as they go across start-finish. Together they come, Michael and Magic. Michael's through for now, but pretty slidey. Cuts the final apex of the chicane. 2 wheels in the air, and now Mad Jester wants to slice of the action as well. Unite's dropped all the way back after that incident. He's having a lot of trouble with his car, and I think, yeah, there we go. A retirement for Unite, unfortunately, after the incident onto the oval last lap. And look at the gap that Gabor has now. These cars are not fast, so any gap that you see, if you imagine they were driving a faster car, the gap would be a lot bigger relative to the speed. So Oscar has lost a lot of time, or rather I think in this case Gabor has gained a lot of time. Oscar's still able to hold off Mantas, and we know how fast Mantas can be in front wheel drive machines. But Botsy also loves the UF1, plenty of experience in the UF1. In fact, I think Botsy used to, or still does hold, a number of UF1 world records in liver speed. Certainly held on to some in the past, so definitely no stranger to this front wheel drive wagon. As we've got Mika Sarkkinen, who's caught up to the back of Hermanni. And we do have an onboard, actually. There we go, from Mika. So you can check him out on Twitch. Twitch.tv/LGMeese. He is live there. So you can watch his race as it happens. Racing after Hermanni currently. Enjoying himself, I hope. But as we conclude lap number 4, Oscar is being reeled in by Mantas. The gap's coming down quite a bit. And into the final chicane. Look at the cutting by Gabor there. He went all over the sleeping policeman, completely cuts the corner. I'm pretty sure Rony won't approve of that. It's all fun and games here, but that was a heck of a cut. And I would guess that's what's been happening on the previous 3 laps as well. And that's part of the reason why Gabor has such an enormous lead over everybody else. It doesn't really matter. Gabor has the championship, but it would be nice for the other drivers to score some points as well. So interesting to see that Gabor is electing to cut the corners so much. A lot of drivers setting their PBs on this track the last time around. And according to Dennis in the chat, cutting the final corner is allowed as per the race green rules. But there we go. Mantas now super close to the back of Oscar. Can he get through on this time around? Pretty sure he'll have a good go at it. No, he's pushing him instead. And anybody who knows anything about Live for Speed will know that bump drafting in UF1s never ends well. Never. No exceptions. Yeah, Mantas there trying the inside line through Spoon, but the outside working better there for Asker, for now at least. Needs to try and cover him off. Hermani and Mies about to make an overtake here. Well, Mies on Hermani to the inside. That'll turn into the outside for the next corner. So Hermani should have the advantage. Yep. But Mies might be able to find a way through on the run up to turn 10. Hermani runs wide onto the grass, and that hands Mika the perfect opportunity to go around the outside if he's got the overspeed. Quite wide though, doesn't necessarily need to leave that much room. And yeah, Hermani will take the place back as easily as he lost it. Or will he? Not if he breaks like that. Mika able to go around the outside once again. But he also has trouble with the rear end. Can't keep it in check, and Hermani will go back through, and Jam 616 joins the party as well. Gabor starts lap 6. We are halfway through tonight's race. Followed by Mantas, who has managed to get past Asker. And we've got Michael and Rony side by side across start finish. Rony will have the inside line for the chicane, but can Magic hold on to this? Sorry, can Michael hold on to this? Magic up ahead. No, Rony very, very wide, but still had the speed. And Asker now back on Mantas and possibly able to get through. Hasn't got all the time in the world to get this done. The inside on the oval will turn into the outside for Spoon, but I think he's going to be through plenty of time before then. There is overlap, so maybe Mantas can send one up the inside into Spoon. He does. Tiny bit of slipstream, not much needed. Mantas will have to try and hug the inside pretty desperately here. Asker has a better line, and yeah, the space opened up for Asker on the exit. So there's a race on for P2, and this is exactly what Botsy wants, because otherwise there is pretty much no way he's going to be able to close that gap on his own. Gabor just going through shot there. He doesn't have to worry, he's got a 3-second lead. But these two, oh, there we go, on the brakes for Mantas. Didn't want to cause contact, because as I mentioned before, these cars especially do not like contact with each other. But Mantas back in the lead for now into P2. And meanwhile at the back, between Mies, Jam 616 and Hermani, Mies has managed to break away with a little bit of a gap. Gabor leads still with a 3-second gap now over Mantas, who is the new driver in P2. for now because Oscar has the slipstream yet again. Now let's keep an eye on Botsy's lap time. Let's see how much he's gained on this lap. Slipstreaming will not lose these guys time, but fighting through the corners will. Oscar's not going to be able to get past on this next corner, but if he stays close enough, there should be an opportunity as he begins lap 7. Just here there what sounded like Gabor taking plenty of liberties with the sleeping policeman again, and Oscar's not had a good final corner, and that has now released Mantas. Further back we've got Majesta running the Union flag on the roof of that racing green Mini Cooper, the UF1 of course, and well, Michael getting it all wrong as he tries to follow and line up a slipstream, which has just gone completely wrong, and Soini will take full advantage. Timu Soini to the outside then. We'll try and get round Michael Malik. And Jam has got a huge run on Hermani, who must have had a pretty poor exit from the final corner. And Michael is through for now on Soini. Oh, sorry, Soini didn't manage to get past Michael. Michael took a very, very tight line on the home straight to defend from there. We've got Strutter in the background, and Mies now side by side with Hermani. Hermani off onto the grass. Mika won't know where he is. Ooh. Sorry, that was Jam on the grass. Hermani in the background. And now Hermani will take the place as we watch the onboard from Mika. A lot of mirror checking for Mika, I've noticed. Good stuff. But yeah, the action is behind between Hermani and Jam. Fight for P20 in this race. Oh, and Hermani there will lose a load of time. Just the rear came out of check. And it looks like at the moment, Gabor is gaining a second over the cars behind each lap. The gap up to 4 seconds. And we'll watch him as he goes on to the next lap and see just how he's taking that final corner. And see where other drivers are potentially losing out on a whole chunk of lap time. I think we already know the answer, but let's watch it properly by the time he gets round to there, as Rick Cardle down in P10, an unusual place for the driver that's currently P2 in the championship, in a fight with Thamuli. Thamuli, who has had a very, very strong year, consistently high finishing results, and today the ZFRL team announced their new championship, the Zafiralis All-Rounder Championship, which will be broadcast here next year. 12 rounds, one a month. You can go and check that out on the LFS forum in the events section. The ZFRL All-Rounder Championship should be a good one, and it's going to be broadcast here live one Monday every month of 2024. Rick Cardle has managed to open that gap up ever so slightly. But now we have Magic and Yari Katila, who are side by side. Yari has the advantage for World Class Lions. P12 currently, that's Lorenzo up front, who they're trying to catch up to. Magic taking to the sausage curbs. We missed Gabor going through the final corner with all the action that was going on. He makes it over start finish to start lap 8. 3 to go for our champion of 2023. Just making sure everybody knows who's the boss. He's opened up a 4.5 second lead over Mantas, who's currently in P2. Oscar in P3. Botsy for P4. And Ayub, who's doing a pretty nice job in P5. The Moroccan driver there. A decently high position, just inside the 10 seconds of our race leader. And then it's Zesty for Master Race Car and Rayman for Born to Race. Next up, we've got Pekka Koivunen, Rick Cardle, and Thamuli round out the top 10. And back in our battle for P20, it's Hermanni and Mika Sarkkinen side by side once again. Mika on the inside then, as we go down to the first chicane. Not that often we see Mies this much on camera, so getting plenty of airtime as he runs a bit wide. Not the greatest moment to pick up an accident, or an incident rather. But yeah, go out and check Mika's stream on Twitch. Twitch.tv/LGMees if you want to see that. Meanwhile, Strutter trying to gain the places he lost earlier, up to P17 with that move on the inside of Soini. Next up the road for him is Michael Malik, as it's the teammates who are going at it. It's Magic and Rony side by side coming up to turn 9. In fact, that's not Rony, that's Jari Katila, my mistake. Magic on Jari Katila. Side by side through the sweepers then is what's going to be happening. Jari has to take evasive action there as Magic takes the normal racing line. That'll slow him down a bit. Yeah, losing out on a bunch of time there. Rony quite sideways in the background as well. That's going to give time back to Majesta, who's looking to gain some places towards the end of this race. But now let's not miss this again. Let's watch Gabor. Let's see if he does what he usually does through the final corner, or whether he's going to play for the cameras. Let's see. Through the final corner he comes, and I fully expect a big send over the sleeping policeman. There it is. I mean, there's cutting and then there's that. Mantas P2 with a big gap now to Oscar. And I don't know, but Botsy, I bet he wishes he was in a fight for the podium. I mean, he's the only driver who is currently in a fight for the podium. But I bet he wishes he was a little bit closer. 1.8 seconds is going to be a large amount of time to gain in the final 2 laps around here. 7 minutes of racing remaining, there or thereabouts, for our top 3 or 4. And that will bring to a close what has been a fantastic season of RTFR. We've had some absolutely brilliant racing, and it's a shame Owen can't be here to commentate on the finale of season 2. Been another brilliant year of RTFR. A fantastic championship that provides plenty of entertainment for the drivers, for the audience, and for us, of course, here at Sim Broadcast. And yeah, the 12 rounds season 1 at the beginning of the year, followed by the 10 round season 2, means 22 rounds of coverage this year. And yeah, if you want to compete or get involved in the final round of the year, the non-championship event, that will be in 2 weeks' time, just before Christmas. But yeah, this combination is certainly one that the drivers will be enjoying. Pack racing at KY3. After half an hour racing, you do tend to spread out quite a bit, but certainly for the first half of the race, Kyoto 3 is a lot of fun. Doesn't matter what car you're driving. This is a work of genius, this track, really. Completely fictional, but has some of the best corners in sim racing. Rony is catching Jari in the background. Botsy is catching up to the back of Oscar. So we might see a change for the podium on the final lap. Depends how much Botsy pushes and if Oscar makes any mistakes. But here we've got Rony himself, the brains behind the championship. A lot of dedication goes into running this championship, along with all of the other race green events that Rony puts together. He has filled every single Tuesday of the calendar, not only with RTFR, but with RTFR XL and the mod championship that he runs alongside. Filled the vacant Tuesday. Every single Tuesday of the year is filled by a race green event, and that effort does not go unnoticed. And now Rony gets to show everyone what he's made of on the back of Jari Katila. Jari, of course, sponsoring the RTFR and RTFR XL championships, the World Class Lines. Very generous indeed. But now he's going to feel the wrath of Rony if he's not careful. And meanwhile, as we enter the final lap, it does look like the gap between Botsi and Asker has come down. It has, to less than a second. In fact, it's 0.6 of a second, which might just be enough. If Botsi can find a tiny bit more time, he might be in the slipstream and may be able to get the podium back. But he's halved the gap, more than halved the gap, in fact, to Asker on the previous time around. As Gabor does start the final lap, let's keep an eye on Strutter. He's made it through on Michael. And we've got Rony and Jari side by side across start finish. But Rony on the inside in the bright green mystery machine. Does look quite like a little bit like the mystery machine. It's not quite, is it? But there we are. Through he goes into turn 1. And Jari gets the line a little bit wrong and will be compromised on the exit, but Rony's compromised himself. Runs very, very wide, and these two are going to go at it again. Rony should have the advantage, unless something happens to challenge it. No, there we go. Rony gets the place back. And Gabor has just one lap to go before he can conclude his Season 2 campaign. Gabor did not cut on the final lap at all and went 1 second slower. And it could be because his suspension is completely destroyed and he can't risk doing another cut. So by taking the final corner flat out, essentially, over those sleeping policemen, Gabor's caused his car suspension damage, which means he couldn't do it on the final lap and lost, well, a second to his best time. So there you go, a message to everybody. Should have been cutting the final corner, basically. Anyway, 1 sector to go for Season 2 of 2023. It's been a heck of a year. Solid job by all the drivers to put on a show for us week in, week out. Thanks to Rony for all the stats, all the organisation. Thanks to Owen as well for being a brilliant co-commentator. Chris for his excellent camera work. And to you guys for watching. Botsi has really closed up to the back of Asker. There could be a final corner move for P3 here. So somewhere in the middle of the lap, Botsi has been doing a solid job at taking time out of Asker, but has he left it too late? It's been pretty close, but we'll see what happens as we watch Gabor enter the final chicane. Is he going to go for a cut on the final lap, or does he want to risk it? Let's see what happens. Yeah, he wants to risk it. Why not? Jumps into the air. Doesn't really matter if your suspension goes at this point. You can drag the car across start finish. He does appear to be okay. Gabor will win, and it's going to be super close between Botsi and Asker. Let's watch Gabor complete the race. Our champion for Season 2. There he goes. But who's going to win between Asker and Botsi? Mantas comes across the line in P2, and it's just Asker ahead of Botsi there to the finish. Very, very good finish there. Abe will take P5. A bit of a lonely race. We didn't see much of him. Then it's Zesty in P6. Rayman will take P7. And we'll let the rest of the drivers finish before we do a full rundown of the order. But congrats to Gabor. Fastest lap. 34 minutes to complete the 10 laps, which is pretty good pace considering the length of this place. Fastest lap of a 3 minute 23.11. Here comes all all the rest of the drivers. Such a long track that we'll not have any drivers a lap down. But yeah, Mantas, solid job there to be best of the rest. And Oscar, a solid job as well to keep Botsy at bay by just 0.08 of a second in the end. Gabor pulls up just at the beginning of the oval section, where he will find the podium, which we will switch to in just a moment's time. Once all of the drivers have completed the race, just 3 more to come. Kata, RD2 and Edgar's come across the line. And that will be the final car. Looks like Edgar's has joined the race, rejoined the race actually. Yeah, let's see him across the line. There we go. 23rd place. No, he hadn't rejoined the race. There's something weird with our timing graphics there. Anyway, let's do the full results. Gabor finishes first in a time of 34 minutes, 8 seconds, 0.08. Here he is on top of the podium. And then we'll have Mantas, Asker, Botsy, Ayub, Zesty, Rayman, Koivunen, Cardle and Thamuli rounding out your top 10. So congrats to Mantas and Asker on a good drive there. Botsy just narrowly missed out, but the gap was too big in the end for him to close it down. An embarrassingly small amount across the line, just 0.08 of a second when it was over almost 2 seconds, 2 laps previous. So good effort, but just not enough in the end for Botsy to get that P3. Magic, Rony, Yari Katila, Mad Jester, Strutter, Michael, Timu Soini, Jam616, Hermani, and LG Meese finish in the top 20. And then just 3 cars on our final page of results for the year. We can see Kata, RD2, and Edgar's are your 23 finishers. Lorenzo, Unite, and Happy D, unfortunately, DNFing various numbers of laps down. Lorenzo will be classified. The other 2 will not. So that brings that race to a close. And yeah, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of the drivers who have made 2023 an excellent year for RTFR. Not a record breaker by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly very well attended. And yeah, we thank all of the drivers for their participation throughout the year. Without them, we can't do it. And yeah, we can't have the entertaining races that we've been so privileged to have throughout the year. And this was a slow one to finish, but sometimes you just need to have something a little bit different. I'm sure the drivers massively enjoyed themselves, especially at the beginning when all of the pack racing was happening. But yeah, it did kind of string out towards the end. But that didn't stop the action. Gabor clearly well in the lead, but Botsy and Asker coming so close together at the end. Well, that's it. That brings the racing action for RTFR on our channel to an end for the year. 10 rounds of Season 2 are completed. Gabor is your Drivers' Champion. He will receive the prize money for the first position from World Class Lions. And the other prize-winning positions will now have been decided, pending, obviously, any post-race adjustments. I don't think there will be any. There are very rarely any post-race adjustments made during the RTFR during any of the RTFR races. But yeah, we will have to wait and see who will be confirmed as the other prize-winning positions. As far as I'm aware, World Class Lions are sponsoring the top. I think it's top 5 prize-winning positions. So the winner in RTFR Season 2 for 2023 will receive €30 as far as I'm aware. So yeah, a pretty good haul of prize money for Gabor there. So thank you very much again to World Class Lions for their sponsorship. As I mentioned before, we do have a few broadcasts left on our channel before the end of the year, so there's still plenty of action to get involved in. We're back at Kyoto tomorrow at the GP alternate configuration with the TBOs for B2R Turbo Cup. That'll be with Zdenek, Sagash and myself, I think, in the commentary box, so that should be a fun one. And then this Friday, we have the return of Kyoto GP long reversed again for Fragmasters Fox Friday. Round 49 will be here, so that should be one to watch as well. Next Tuesday, it's the finale of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Extra Large. That'll be at Fern Bay Black with the XFR. And then on Thursday, the 21st of December, we have the final round of Fragmasters GTI Thursday for the year. There is rumour that we will be covering the final round of Fox Friday and also Crashmas, as well as our 2024 preview show, all to look forward to. So plenty to stay tuned for on Sim broadcasts to the end of the year. A packed calendar as always. We hope you appreciate our coverage of your favourite championships in LFS, and we hope to continue doing so into 2024. We've had our first confirmed championship on our calendar. That is going to be the Zaffaralis All-Rounder Championship, which you can find details of on the Live for Speed forum. But from RTFR, that is a wrap for 2023. It's been amazing. We hope to do it again all again next year. We'll keep you posted on the news for that. But from all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, we hope you have a great evening, and we hope to see you tomorrow for B2R Turbo Cup. Have a good one, and good night.